Hello, traders, and welcome to TradingWithBill.com. I'm Bill. We're in Pattaya, Thailand, and ooh, we got blue skies again today. It's going to be a cooker. And by the way, yesterday was a cooker. It was hot. Yeah, we cooked yesterday and out with friends last night. Ooh, crazy, crazy. You're in Thailand. What's going on? Any rants today? Nah, no rants today. Everything's good. Um, yeah, so let's see what's happening in what we got coming out news-wise today. Uh, Unemployment change out of the Aussie, full unemployment change for September. NAB quarterly business confidence and participation rate, unemployment rate. They're not going to have no change, and that's going to stay at 5.3. They're not going to do anything, folks. I think they said like 2020, I think, is the next time, or 2021, they were going to maybe think about interest rates, but they're not going to do anything. Bank of Japan Governor Kuroda speaks today. Of course, I'm not going to listen to that, but it's something just to keep an eye on. If you're doing yen pairs, of course, we do yen pairs in Asia. So if you're doing yen pairs, just be careful with that. Kuroda's coming out. Just know he's going to be speaking, right? So just keep an eye on that. China's got some stuff coming out, nothing really big. New loans is probably the biggest thing there. And the pound today in the European session, we got core retail sales month-on-month, year-on-year. And then we have retail sales year-on-year for September. Keep an eye on that. Spanish 10-year obligation auction today. Okay. We have an EU speaker speaking, like who cares? And we have initial jobless claims coming out. Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Index comes out today. I always like that data that comes out from Philly Fed Manufacturing Index. All those that come out during the month, I really like watching that. It's pretty interesting. Then we have another OMC person speaking, like who cares about that? And that is about it. Yes, my video was late yesterday. It was really something. I went into YouTube and I get this like page that just filled with a bunch of letters in it. And it said server interruption. I'm like, oh no. I thought I had a virus or something. I thought I got attacked. Anyhow, about 3 hours later, it cleared up and I was able to put my video out. So it was late for that reason. It wasn't that I was goofing off. Dollar index, 95.35. Dollar index is up, right? That's a good thing. Dollar index, 95.35. However, when we take a look at the pairs, you'll see it's really not that, it's okay. But S&P VIX is at 17.40. That's a good thing, right? We want to see the VIX up. It shows volatility, shows things going on in the market. That's a really good thing. So we don't knock that the VIX is up and it's doing its thing, right? So that is really great. Let's get over to the charts. Oh, before we do that, let's go to New York. Hey, let's head on over to Wall Street. Here we go. So we can see crude. Yeah. Now look at this. Now, folks, come on now. Did we not talk about that the other day? That was resistance, right? Didn't quite hit it, but pretty close, right? And it came back down again, right? It's all about price levels, right? All these people talking and all these, experts, it's all about price levels, and that's exactly what happened with crude. We talked about this yesterday. This is at 72.69, but remember, I did say I thought it was possible it was going to go back up to 73 or 74. I did say that. It just didn't do it. It stopped at that. And if you look left of the chart, you can see that's resistance. So it did exactly what it should have done technically, right? Technically, it did what it said. Dollar index on the TOS platform is at 95.62 on that. And gold, 2 down days right now. 2 down days on gold. Not sure what's going on with gold. I'm not a gold trader. I don't trade gold. I've never traded gold. It was just not my thing. However, it's a good thing to watch gold and oil because I correlate them together. Whether it's right or it's wrong, I have no idea, but I've been doing it for years. And one thing you don't want to see is you don't want to see oil going down and gold going down at the same time because that's telling you somebody's lying, right? If oil's going down and gold is going down, somebody's lying. Somebody's going to turn around and head to the upside, all right, and vice versa. The VIX, 17.4, nice on the VIX. Wow, we had an update on Monday, Doji yesterday, and then we have a red candle starting today, of course being Thursday, the 18th of October. So is this going to head back down? It looks like it. I mean, if you look at this technically and you look at candlestick formations, this is absolutely saying, listen, it's weakening. Yesterday ended in a doji, starting off with a red candle. Maybe it's going to head back down to the downside. What did we talk about yesterday about 6E? /6E, Euro futures. What did I tell you to do? Sell it. Just sell the Euro futures. That's what's going on in New York as we speak. All right, let's head over to some charts. Let's take a look at what's going on. So today I was looking around and we picked out this Euro Swiss. Now, this Euro Swiss is interesting because I don't trade it. I haven't traded it in ages. But I'm open for new ideas and new things. And I looked at this, and one thing that caught my eye, which is an hour and a half ago. So that would have been 5:30, in the morning for me. And I put my charts on about 5:45. But this pullback to this 55 EMA and then continued to the downside was sort of like, wow. Of course, I had one eyeball open, but that was if you were trading that was your thing. However, I think this is still tradable. I think we could still trade this where it's at. You can take this down here at 1.1435, whatever, and just take it down at 1.1415 at a minimum and take it down. And the reason I said that was because of left of the chart. We have a lot of Forex stuff here. We got support there. However, we have a long way. We got all this wide open space down here. So I'm saying that might not hold, but you just want to watch it. So you're either going to scale in or you're going to scale out however you trade. But this looks like a good opportunity to take this to the downside. It's a new pair. Like I said, I don't trade it much, but I'm going to look at it. I'm going to keep an eye on it. I'm not going to enter it right at the moment, though. It's not time to do that. So let's take a look at the euro. Can you believe it's Thursday already? Wow, huh? Yeah, look at this euro. Nice, huh? Right to the downside. Just like the Euro futures, right? We saw the Euro futures first. Look at this euro. Really, really nice. This is nice, easy to do here. All we're going to do here is we're going to take this over here. And what are we going to do? We're going to put a fib on it, right? We're going to put a fib tool on. And you could take it from up there, but I want to use this swing, right? I want the current swing. So I'm going to take it from here. We're going to pull this down to here, right? There we are. So now we pulled this down. There's our fib. We're okay. Everything's fine, and we're ready to go. So where are we gonna sell this at? Well, the optimum trade is, of course, if this comes up to this 55, which is where I'd want to see it, right? Come back up to this 55. That's a 50% Fibonacci level, and that's at 1.1540. We take it down to 1.1500. Intraday trade. Listen, if you get 30 pips in this one pair, that's a good day, right? I prefer to be in 2 or 3 trades at the same time. So it's all about probabilities, and there's a good probability that I'll be successful at the end of the day. If I'm $1 ahead of whatever, I made profit, right? And that's a good day. So, but this looks like we need a pullback, and we can take this to the downside. But like I talked about all week, the problem is these pairs aren't giving us many pullbacks. So you might only get a pullback to this 23.6, and I've spoken about this before, that it's a really important fib to watch because it is valuable. It is valuable, and the 23.6, I don't know if most people see it or not, but I don't hear a lot about it out there in the trading world that people watch this fib, but it's an important fib to watch. It's 23.6. So just watch this fib. It's just a good fib to watch. And we might get it. We might only pull back to there. Now, I don't necessarily like that. I'd rather it go back up to the 50%. And let's get in this at 1540. I don't want to get it in at 1510, right? Now I'm saying, well, then we got to go to 1.1490 or 1.1495, get a close, and then let it come down, and we'll take it from there, right? Sure. Let's take a look at the pound dollar. Great British Pound, USD. There we go. Here's the pound dollar. This was our range we talked about yesterday. Look at what happened, right? Look at what happened on this. This broke through here, right? We talked about this yesterday. Now, this didn't happen when we talked about it yesterday. This came through the 200, came back down. There was your trade, right down. It actually broke through this support really nicely. Look at what happened. Comes down and retests that support level, which we talked about yesterday pretty extensively, and this turns around and heads right back down. Nice. I mean, I didn't get it, but this was a nice trade. You're right. Stay with these areas, right? The 55 just worked. It overshot the 200 as we always expect. We always expect overshoots. That's not unusual. When we talk about a price, it's a zone, really. It's an area, right? This goes through it and then just plunges to the downside. Listen, this was because of dollar strength, right? And of course, the pound is weak. But, the dollar's above 95 now on the dollar index. So the dollar's doing very well at the moment. So this made it move nicely to the downside. What's the other thing on this chart is, we've got these EMAs and have angle and separation all pointing to the downside. The 10 EMA is right on top of price, which you'd like to see. If the 10 EMA is away from your current candle, it just means two things. Either the current candle is going to go to the 10 EMA or the 10 EMA is going to go to the candle, right? It's going to do one or the other. When it's at price, that makes it much easier for us. Now, we're looking for a pullback here, right? I want this to come back up to the 200 and we'll take it back to the downside. This looks like this is just not an issue. And we'll keep this up here. I think that's okay. We can keep this range here. We'll watch it. But, we're sort of out of it. Remember we talked about the gap on Monday? Well, the gap got filled, right? I don't know if we talked about that yesterday or not, but the gap got filled. So everything worked out fine there. Here's another one that really took a little tanking yesterday was the Euro Aussie, right? Look at this. Just continue to the downside slowly, right? Slowly, no big thing here. This was a hard trade to get into. This was not easy if you were going to try to get into this trade. This was not easy. Again, though, this was yesterday, right? We set this up yesterday. Overshoot of the 200, breaks down below it. This retest is your candle, but you probably would have gotten in here, right? End of this red candle, next candle's red, you would have gotten in here. Hopefully your stop's above the 200, you didn't get stopped out because of that, and you continue to the downside. Not an easy trade. It's easy for me to talk about it the day after, but sitting and watching it, that would be a very hard trade to get into and feel safe, right? Then you see these tiny little candles here, and then all of a sudden it bangs back up to the 200 retest, and then it works its way back down through New York, and now we're in Asia, and it's down here at this 1.1615 area, and that's where it's hanging. Right? We're bearish in this, right? And this Euro Aussie, we're bearish in this. The one thing about this Euro Aussie, I talk about this all the time, if it's in its move, it stays there. It doesn't care about what's going on anywhere. It does its own thing. And then, look, we come back over here. Let's say here. Okay, that was October 11th, right? And this thing just moved on its way down, did its little thing, a couple of stair steps here, and just moved on down. And that is so typical of this Euro Aussie. It's so typical. We see it all the time. And that's what we would expect. I want to take a look at, well, we used to call it the beast. I don't know what they call it now, but the pound yen. So this pound yen really is at a pretty decent area here. We're at a confluence area. Got all these EMAs at the same spot. This is a good place to sell, right? This is a decent place to take this to the downside. There you go. That's there, right? And you want to take this here, right? And we'll take that to there, something like that. All right, so we'll get it at 147.50, somewhere in that area. I'll take it down to 146.50, which is 100 pips. Got some bumps though. It's not going to be an easy ride. You're going to get stuck here at 147.000, of course, but 147.200 looks like, if you look left of the chart, that's pretty significant support level. So you're going to get some bounces there. So if you get into this pair, just realize, and as always, this pound yen has always been a dynamic pair, and it's always needed a lot of room to breathe. You got to give this a 30 pip stop at a minimum. Whenever you trade, it's a 30 pip stop on this pound yen. You just have to give it room. That's the way this pair is. It's the way this personality is. That's just the way this pair works, right? So, but I like where it's at. I think it's a good trading opportunity. You can even get in this in Asia. It's a good thing. I think that's not a bad idea. Traders, well, you know what? It's the end of the week, and I'm getting ready for baseball. We got some playoff baseball going on there in the States. We're going to take a look at live here and in about 15 minutes. So good to be with you. Thanks everybody for your support this week. It's been a great week. We've had a lot of fun. You know I don't do a video on Fridays. I have another obligation. However, we will see you Monday morning in Asia. Traders, always remember to trade smart, not hard. And what's more important than that? Let's have a little bit of fun. And we'll catch you next time. Take care, traders. Bye-bye.